chapter is about finding joy in moving and finding that something that you enjoy doing with either yourself or with others. So the chapter should be about understanding, or when you're done, you should have an understanding what frequency, intensity, type, and time means in terms of exercise, what kind of strategies might be helpful to be able to identify if something is worth spending money on in terms of fitness, and then also to understand how important it is to be not just exercising regularly, but to find something recreational to do. So what motives or incentives keep you active? And what are some reasons that cause you not to be active? So these two questions can go for a person who is maybe not so active right now, or somebody who has been active. What kind of internal or external incentives influence your choices? Well, many of the reasons, common reasons for somebody not being active is called a barrier. So we're going to go back to that word barrier. A barrier to being active could be that a person is not finding it convenient. The most common reason is to say, I don't have enough time, it's boring, I'm not very good at it, so I'm not going to participate in it, I don't feel comfortable in my clothing. Number of reasons why people find that being active is perhaps not their top priority. One of the ways that we can look at the biggest issue, which is time, is by identifying how we tend to spend our time. And this is just I think from 2015, looking at how much time we spend in leisure and sports doing on average is 4 hours and 59 minutes. What kind of activities do we do? Well, most of us spend it watching TV. So almost 3 hours of that 5 hours is spent watching TV. Some of it might be reading, some of it might be relaxing and thinking. But how do we spend our time is what we have a choice. So the physical activity pyramid gives you a guideline of how we should focus on our activity. And what you'll see on the right-hand side is this pyramid somewhat looks like the old food pyramid, which you had the base of your food pyramid was foods that you should focus on, and that would be like complex carbohydrates. And then at the top was the list of foods that you want to have limited amount of, and that would be like saturated fats, for example. Well, the physical activity pyramid is like that. The base of your physical activity pyramid would be doing something physically active every day, and that could be just raking, household chores, walking, yard work. So every day we should focus on these level 1 activities, lifestyle activities. 2 to 3 days per week corresponds to the blue level, which is the aerobic activity, and that would be at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity each week, which might be walking or jogging briskly. So having more of a heart rate, an elevated heart rate, that should be 2 to 3 days per week and equate to about minimum of 150 minutes. The third level is stretching, flexibility, and strength at least 2 days per week, and that would be like stretching 3, maybe even up to 5 days a week. Doing strength training in a gym, or you can use your body weight by doing push-ups off the wall, push-ups off the stairs, or push-ups off the floor, off your knees. You can change the intensity of it. It could be yoga, tai chi, anything along that line. And then we ultimately want to have a very limited amount of inactivity, and that is the level 4, so that's inactive time. To be able to find some joy in activity, you want to find something that you like to do on each level. What kind of chores do you like to do? Do you find that going up and down the stairs and doing your laundry, vacuuming? I know I just love to vacuum. um, what kind of aerobic things do you do? Is it walking? Is it cycling? Strength and conditioning? Do you like toning exercises? Do you like to lift weights? Do you like yoga? And so forth. So to develop your activity, there are guidelines in terms of how many days per week that we should focus on, and that's part of that pyramid. Aerobic activities, 3 to 5 days, weight training 2 to 3, our baseline activities like walking and chores every day. Periodicity is making smaller bouts of exercise. Sometimes it's referred to as intervals. Interval training is a real nice way, so you can do a couple minutes, take a rest, a couple minutes, take a rest. The key is to do something at your own pace and to pay attention to your own sense of exertion and how it feels to you. The intensity of exercise is also important. I'm going to make a correction here. Lower intensity exercise burns more fat. However, when we burn more calories at a higher exercise intensity, overall, we burn more fat because of the post-exercise burn. You burn more fat off your body. So time, try to do it daily, and activity, something that you like. You want to be mindful of how we spend our money on fitness. If you are a student on campus, you do have access to the recreation center, and there are some very cost-effective classes that you can take that are much less expensive than if you were to take them out on the regular market. For example, the yoga classes, I think, are just a couple dollars, and they're offered several times a week. In fact, I think they're still doing classes online, or they're doing things outside, but with the weather changing, that's going to change. But you want to look at something that is, if it says it's a quick fix, it's probably not going to be effective. And it's very appealing because we all want to have fast changes. So, number of different types of activities that are maybe a little non-traditional. Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a martial art. It's a very impactful on relaxation, but also with strength and endurance. It's conscientious movement through space with working on balance, and really quite enjoyable. Yoga, vinyasa, power yoga, hot yoga, a number of types of yoga are available. Qigong or Qigong is similar to Tai Chi, but it is done differently. It has a different energy flow. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. Here is a picture of Dara Grace Torres, who was an Olympic medalist in swimming, and she won 3 silver medals. This was a couple Olympics ago, and she was really quite inspiring. She was an amazing athlete and thought to be, I think she was the mother of the team. So age and exercise, it's best to keep going as we age. So it's all about finding what you like, what time of day works for you, and how being active can give you a good sense of self. So think about what is fun for you. Can you find ways to become physically active every day by building it into your day? Can you schedule it in? Are you focused on just doing activities that are short-lived, or are there activities like maybe golfing, tennis, that are going to be lifelong skills that you can learn. And there are a number of classes that you can take next semester. I know there's walking and jogging. Sometimes we have